Chick says, I signed up for Video Powerhouse. I'll +1 that. Thanks, Chick. He says, I'm excited to get started and test. I was wondering if you could elaborate further on the service so I can translate what is going on to customers and prospects in terms they can understand. I assume everything else needs to be in place for maximum effectiveness, such as channel and video optimizations. Anything else? Thanks. Okay. What is Video Powerhouse? Well, Video Powerhouse is just a broadcasting network. This is something you can tell your clients and customers or prospects or whatever, is that you have access to a broadcasting network that you'll syndicate videos to, and each one of those sites that it gets posted on becomes an embed. You might want to dumb it down a bit for customers that aren't, in the industry or whatever, but each one of those, in other words, each time that video is embedded on a property, it's kind of like a vote, right? It's like, hey, this must be a popular video because it's on this many sites on the web, and you have access through Video Powerhouse to a large network of embed sites, which will also generate through the IFTTT networks around each one of those automatic social signals and bookmarks, additional embeds, additional links, so backlinks, so that's basically what it is. Do you guys, any of you guys, have like a specific elevator pitch for Video Powerhouse to tell to customers?
That's a good one.
Something we're working on because we have people ask us, and we've developed it for several video uses.
Yeah.
So that's something we will work on getting better explanations for, because honestly, you guys, and hopefully some of you are watching who've interacted with me via support questions, like, hey, how exactly does this work, or how exactly should I do this? And unfortunately, the first answer is kind of like IFTTT, how many networks to rank. It's like, well, test, and you let me know.
Right.
And that's why we built the network, was because we knew embeds were important, and we knew that embeds on quality sites with IFTTT rings around them was really important. But beyond that, it depends on what you want to do with your videos or what you're trying to do. So,
I can tell you from my own interactions with video production companies, because I provide wholesale SEO services to a few video production companies, and all I do is I just tell them that I have access, that I have built a network of video broadcasting network. That's what I call it to them. I call it a video broadcasting network, because I tell them the more places that YouTube embed code is placed, the more popular the video is according to Google. So we can spoof it, right? And that's what I tell them. I said, so I build these large networks that are themed, and then we post the videos to them, and it builds automatic backlinks, embeds, social embeds, and bookmarks, and that's what helps them to rank.
Yeah, and if your customers, depending on how savvy they are to the SEO terminology, if they have questions about it, this is something you can be afraid to not, share them. Be like, you're not putting them up on just crappy sites or orphaned Web 2.0s. I mean, this is high quality sites that have trust flow, that have page authority,
identities.
Yeah, it's not just some random new URL or domain on that just got registered or something like that.
Yeah. If I were to say something to them, would be along those lines, Adam. Would be along the lines of, your video will be featured on many websites. Will in turn give Google signals that your video is popular, so that it will be considered to rank you higher. And it will also get views and whatnot, because IFTTT rings will also bring traffic to the video and whatnot. So that will be my intake on it.
Very good. Everything else needs to be in place for maximum effectiveness. You already said it, Chick. Yes, totally. I mean, I honestly, you should always take care of on-page stuff before you even start doing any off-page. So my point is, make sure your channel is optimized properly, set up properly, make sure that you're doing the proper keyword research, you're selecting the right keywords when you're starting to produce videos and upload videos or live stream videos. Make sure your descriptions and tags are good. Also, make sure you're using playlists properly, because playlists will give you a huge boost that you can't, with playlists will make less off-page SEO more effective. In other words, it'll take less off-page work to get the same results if you're using playlists properly, because you're just siloing out your channel, or at least you can use the playlist to silo, and you should probably already be familiar with that. But make sure all of that is done right first, and then when you start syndicating and using Video Powerhouse as a supplemental, that should really help you out. Okay. Also, guys, keep in mind, Video Powerhouse, again, is just a supplemental, because you should have all your own networks set up to your own channels anyways. In other words, you should have tiered networks set up to be fed by your YouTube channel every time you upload a video or live stream a video. that goes out across your own network, starting with your branded tier 1, going out to tier 2. You can stack as many full 2-tier networks on that channel as you want, but you should have your own networks too. And that's because that's going to be the starting point. And then you can, once you've blasted your video out and it's syndicated out across all those sites in your networks, then you can go back. And what I like to do, instead of just blowing your Video Powerhouse credits, what I like to do whenever I do a new video project is I run them through my networks. Okay, so in other words, I just upload or live stream. I let it go through my networks, and I let it sit for about 2 weeks before I do anything else, because usually within about 14 days, the video will end up going to where it's kind of settles in at that point, to where it's going to be. And then if I need additional push, that's when I'll start doing the supplemental stuff. Because that way I'm not just uploading a video and then immediately going over to Video Powerhouse. And you know, you always want to do as little as possible to get something to rank. That way you leave additional resources at your disposal in case you need additional push or additional boost. Does that make sense? So that's what I would suggest doing, is, like, you know, run them through your own networks and everything first. Give it some time, give it 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that, to see where it's going to settle in, and then if you need to use it, then go ahead and use the Video Powerhouse. And then, you know, there's a lot of other tricks that you can do as well.